on, YouTube world? Back again with another ride. Don't really, it was kind of an impromptu ride out with Jenna on a Sunday. It was great. We haven't had this weather in a long time. We kind of just, hey, what's up, Carvana? We kind of just decided to go out for a ride last second. I don't really have a topic in mind, but I guess since we're out here on the highway, made me think of something when we're riding, is when you ride with somebody, whether it's one other person or a group, how do you ride with that group? Do you ride kind of like this right here, staggered, maybe a little bit further back, right? You ride staggered, you come up here next to them, y'all ride next to each other. Some people have been riding together for a while. That's just dangerous. That's dangerous. Okay, all right, don't ride behind that one. But a lot of people have been riding together for a long time. They like to ride side by side. That's kind of, hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. When I first started riding, shout out to my Street Punisher fam out in Hawaii. But we ride staggered, So a couple different reasons. It gives the person in front of you enough space to maneuver. If there's a rock or a pole or something in the road they need to maneuver, and they need to get over, right? If there's a car that comes into your lane, hey, I have the space to move over and not be afraid to hit anybody. Right? Depending on how much room behind the person you give, then you definitely have a lot of room to hit your throttle, release your throttle. You have that space. And once you've been riding with those people for a while, you learn. And you learn that there's a lot of throttle management as you're riding. Now, yeah, when you've been riding together for a long time, you're going to learn your own way. And I'm not here to say, hey, one way is better than the other. But in my opinion, this is the safest way to ride, or the safer way to ride, I should say, because you get that ability to move left and right, to release your throttle, to hit your throttle if you see something. Whereas right next to each other, you don't have that much room available to be able to maneuver around obstacles in the road. And then when you hit your brakes, that bike behind you, you're not really sure how close they are. At least when you're staggered like this, the bike behind you is more than likely 2 bike lengths behind you. So yes, even though bikes still don't have great braking ability, when you mash them up against cars, they still gives you a split second. Split seconds are very important when you're riding. A split second can be the determination of whether you hit that obstacle, go around the obstacle, or fucking punch it and go over the obstacle. Any millisecond that you can get, you have to give yourself. That's an important thing. But anywho, how do you ride, and why do you ride in the formation that you ride in? So Jenna and I have been riding together for 3 years, 4 years. I think almost about 3 years riding together. We're comfortable when we ride. I don't usually ride like this next to it. We're going straight. I like it. I just like riding like this. But for the most part, I would say 95% of the time, I always stay back here and just, watch the rear view, watch her, watch the road, just make sure everything's good. Another thing I want to touch on is comms. When you're in these group rides or formation rides, what do you use to communicate? Do you use hand signals, right? Do you use, hey, I'm going to the left lane, or you pump your leg, right? Hey, there's an obstacle in the road, left or right. Do you also with hand signals, or do you use communication devices? Just been using Senna since we started riding. We do use hand signals also, especially with obstacles in the road, pumping your leg left and right. If I'm in a ride with people that I don't know, I definitely make sure that I use my turn signals. Those are always important. So for those that, maybe you're new to riding, or maybe you haven't ridden in a group, make sure that you learn your turn signals. And I'll try to find a video with riding turn signals examples, and I'll try to link it either in the video or down below. Make sure that you learn turn signals to understand what's going on ahead of you, so you're not just watching the road, but you're watching the riders and watching what signals. Like, it could be a, hey, obstacle. If I stick my leg out either left or right, that, with my turn signal, that means, hey, I'm either maneuvering in the lane left or right, or I'm coming over in the lane left and right. Obviously, you know, you got your hand signals, whether you're turning left or you're turning right. You can also use it, hey, I'm going to the left lane, or hey, I'm going to the right lane. But hand signals, leg signals, make sure that you learn them and that you study them and you practice them. And here it looks like we're heading down to the Virginia Beach oceanfront. I'm gonna see what's up down there. It's not really beach weather right now, but it feels all right. It's probably some people out. It's not like spring break out, but you know, with the whole COVID thing going on, there's not a lot of people out, but there is some. The Bunker, right? Young Veterans Brewing Company runs that, and if you're ever down here, they got some good beers in there. Their actual brewery is off of Damneck Road, but down here they have this, and it's like a bar type, but in the back it's like it's got a stage with bands and everything. So if you're ever in the area and they have live music at times, you can come check them out, especially if you like beer. They got their own beer, and then also other craft breweries. Well, I lied. We did not go. We kind of went on the ocean front, but not to the main strip. We stayed one road back, so it wasn't a lot to see down there anyways. It's a lot cooler out here than I expected it to be. I didn't even take the attempt, to be honest, because it said it was supposed to be in the 60s today, and I'll tell you right now, it definitely doesn't feel like it's in the 60s. I got my vented leather gloves on, and I could definitely feel the cold air in there. A bug in my visor. It's crazy how Virginia, the scenery changes so fast sometimes. It's like you're on the highway, alright, you're on the road, okay, boom, woods. And then you drive about 2 miles. Oh no! Freaking, it's a good thing we weren't doing some shenanigans out here, because this is definitely a nice road to do that in. Oh shit, I don't know if she saw him. God damn. And then one thing that gets on her nerves is when I come and do this. Wow! Which is not safe at all, but she hates it because I'm directly behind her and she gets nervous. So I don't do it often. I just do it if I see her looking back at me, I'll go in and do it and annoy her. I don't recommend doing it though, it's dangerous. Any movement by her can cause me to do something, either break or whatever, and it's not safe. Did you see that cop that was in the middle of the woods? Yeah, I was probably about the same because I was right behind you, but I was like, man, it's a good thing we weren't out here going crazy on that road. Well, oh, okay, well, good, because then I would have probably just followed you and we would have both been in jail. Man, it was supposed to be 60-something degrees today. It definitely does not feel like that. And what's up with all this fog? I have no idea what's going on today. Oh, that smells so good. I gotta see what that was. That was smell like maple or syrup, something. I don't know. It smells so good. A lot of these companies, though, because of COVID, are doing the takeouts. And then especially if for those that partake in alcoholic beverages, a lot of them do the carryouts. We went to a burger joint last weekend, but they were doing like 20% off their local brews. So we had a burger and bought a couple beers. That fog is nuts right now. They're doing it too. Bucketheads. The guy was sitting out there taking orders yesterday. Talking about exhaust. What exhaust do you run? Do you have stock? Do you have aftermarket? Do you have a Wish.com special? I ain't hating on Wish.com specials or eBay specials. Wow, that was definitely red, lady. See, shit like that. People just too crazy in a rush. Anyways, I ain't hating. I know Layla Rogue, I believe hers was a Wish special. Is it? I believe so. I run Two Brothers without the baffle, and then she runs a Two Brothers also with the baffle. I like Two Brothers just because of the deeper tone of it, not so much the loudness of it. But I know when she had her 300, she got one off of the eBays, and that thing That thing was loud. And we put it on. I swear it felt like it was a supermoto going up and down the road. And it was annoying at first, but you're not getting any sound out of your stock exhaust. And so cars would come over on her, right? Obviously a 300 is a little bit lower, and so she went, I don't know if she saw a video on YouTube or if she just ordered it randomly, but we installed it. Didn't take long to install, and then actually it's a lot louder than the ones we have now. It was legit like a supermoto exhaust. The cars knew where she was at all times, so that was good. That's kind of what the main reason of why she got that one. All right, bike fam, about to get up on this highway. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video or even liked it just a little bit, hit that like button, subscribe, put some comments down there. What do you want to see? What do you want to listen? What do you want me to talk about? My experiences or whatnot. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.